All right, good evening. My name is Mrs. Keener. I will be your first grade teacher this year, and I'm very excited. This is actually my first year here at Odenton Christian School. However, I just graduated in May from Heartland Baptist Bible College and then got married a couple days afterwards. And so my husband and I moved here in July, and we're really loving the state of Maryland. We enjoy the scenery, and I think that all the green is like my favorite here. I'm originally from Texas, and I was born and raised there, and obviously everything in Texas is bigger and better. However, my size did not follow that quote, so that's okay. I am super excited to be here, and I'm learning a lot about Maryland as I've been here. There's a lot of things going on right now with COVID, and there's a lot of procedures and a lot of routines that we're all having to change, and I really appreciate your flexibility with not being able to be here in the classroom with me. I do miss meeting you for the first time. However, I know that most of y'all have corresponded with me through email, and I really appreciate that. I've already sent y'all the packet via email, and so if you've already looked through that packet before this, it'd be wonderful. However, I know that some of y'all may not have been able to, so I'm just going to highlight some things. I don't think it's necessary to go through everything because y'all do have it. I just want to highlight some things and give some commentary. I did include quite a bit of supplements and some examples of some paperwork that is going to be sent home every week for y'all, and I will go through that as well. On Monday, I will be sending a physical packet along with the extra papers home with your child. That way you have a physical copy of it. One of the things I wanted to reiterate is the supplies. I know a couple of y'all have asked me for the supply list. It is online. If you go to the website for the Christian school and type in supply list, it'll be there. However, if you aren't able to get it, just reach out to me. I'm also requiring that you have a storage bin. I said on the email it needs to be between 12 and 15 quarts. That way there's enough space in there to put all your kids, markers and crayons and all of extra supplies that we don't want to mix with everybody else's. That way just to ensure your child's safety. If you have any questions about that, let me know. You can purchase those at Dollar Tree for $1. Those work just as well. Walmart has them, Target, all of those stores. I know that with COVID, there's so many things that have been different. One of them is birthday celebrations. And then normally you would, bring in cupcakes, have a special meal for your child, but this year we can't. I want your child to feel very special. So I've actually purchased some certificates to give them, and we're going to sing to the child. However, we're not able to have an actual party for them. So I'm going to make them feel special, but we can't bring anything in the classroom this year. I have actually included a packet of our mitigation standards for their school. That way you can kind of look through that. It does include the plan for pickup and drop-off. Pickup is going to be, drop-off in the morning is between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. It's detailed in that packet, so you can just kind of look through that. Then the scheduled pickup time is going to be 3 to 3:15. Any questions, feel free to reach out for that. In their desks, we have these partitions in the classroom. This is so that the kids can sit at their desk and not have to wear their mask. If you saw my classroom, you'd see that there's 2 chalkboards, and I use both of them. When they're sitting front, faced forward, they're going to have their mask off. I have a little hook in their partition that they can hook it on so it's not a distraction to them. However, when they turn to the left, because they will have to have their mask on because I require that they turn their chair all the way to face so they're not messing around. So just something that you need to just talk to your child about, obviously, and I will make sure I give them ample, reminders and everything. And then in the classroom, we're also going to have sanitizing stations and cleaning times and everything just to keep everything, sanitized. Another part of the curriculum is obviously homework. My homework is going to be designed to prepare them for the tests and quizzes. We're not going to actually have homework for the first 2 weeks. That's just because it's review time to review everything they've learned, and then those who are coming from a different school or who are a little further behind academically, it gives them 2 weeks to get where everybody else is at and just everything. So I've actually made a homework schedule. You can't obviously see it. It's in your packet that you'll be getting. It tells you every day what kind of homework to expect. I'm also going to include a packet along with that. It'll be, the first day is math, spelling, and reading. So I'm going to have a piece of paper for math. I'm going to label it Monday, and it's going to be made so that when their test comes up, they'll be reviewing. It's pretty much going to be just like the test. It's just going to be formatted a little differently, obviously different questions. The homework is there. When you look at the paper for the weekly schedule, it has a spot for you to sign. That's because the packet itself is not due to Friday, and so I need you to sign every day that your child actually did the homework so he gets the right credit. The homework grade that's going to be taken is not going to be over every single day. It's going to be over all 5 days of homework. It's going to be an average, and that's what's going to go into grade book. It's not going to be every individual grade. Another part of your homework is going to be reading, because right now, kids are going to be learning to read, and it's really cool to see once they start to grasp those first few words, their sight words, and they start to understand how to blend words. It's like they completely just keep going, and they keep learning, and they keep excelling. We have reading groups for that to kind of encourage them where they're at, take them from what they know to what they don't know, encourage them, just kind of keep them with people who are in the exact same spot. The way I'm going to be documenting that reading homework is with another piece of paper. It's also going to be in your packet. It's going to have a spot where your child's actually going to write in their homework. It's going to be dated. There's also going to be a spot for you to sign. Make sure you're signing both the homework sheet and the reading sheet every day, because if you aren't signing it, then I don't know they're reading. I don't know they're doing their homework, and there will be consequences for that because it's very crucial. Obviously, it's going to be a couple of warnings here and there. I'm going to reach out to you via email, but if it continues, then there will be consequences. Make sure that their book comes home or comes back to school every day when they do take it home for reading, because if they don't have their book, they can't participate in the reading group, and that's very crucial for their education. I'm going to have that paper I showed you with the homework schedule. That's when you have to sign. It needs to be returned every single day. If it doesn't come back to school, then they don't get they will be a consequence, whether it's a clip down on their clip chart or if it's just a verbal warning. It just depends on the situation. I will be reaching out to you, however. So with grades and that same one, we're going to be taking grades on homework, as an average for the week. It's going to be an average grade for that subject, and then tests. Like I said before, the homework is preparing them for the test, which means they must be doing their homework. Also, when they take their tests, it's going to be graded. I will return them to your child in their take-home folder on Monday. When they take it home, you must sign it and review that test with them, because they need to know, you need to know where they're at academically, and that way you know how to help them at home with their homework. Or if you're noticing that when your child is doing homework and they're just not understanding, or you see that their grade on their test isn't what you thought it would be, reach out to me. We can come up with something maybe to take home, or we can come up with something to help them better. If you have any questions regarding any of that academically, then just reach out to me. My email is on the packet. It's also, you can ask me in person. That is the best way to communicate with me, because I check it all the time. Try not to email me past 6 o'clock, because I will be at home. I have a husband and I have a family, so I want to make sure that I'm home. I'm probably not going to be checking my email, so I will respond the next day. for our morning routine, so I know that your child is probably, there's a lot of new things happening, but one thing that's very important is that there's a schedule, because without a schedule, it's going to be chaotic in the class. I've included a schedule, and I'll be following it pretty strictly. Obviously, if there's chapel or special days, we'll be a little bit flexible, but I want to make sure that your child has the time they need to get the education they need. On the schedule, it talks about a fruit break. Well, what is a fruit break? A fruit break is when they get to sit there for 10 minutes at 8:50 to 9 o'clock and eat a piece of fruit. I kind of gave you some examples of things you could bring. If you have any questions of, hey, is this okay? Hey, is that okay? Go ahead. Be aware that we do have some peanut allergies in our classroom, so try not to bring any kind of peanuts, just so that if, they accidentally come in contact with that peanut or that peanut butter, then they won't have a reaction, just to be mindful of that. Let's see, lunch. Normally lunch was in the lunchroom, now it's in our classroom. A lot of the times, you would probably bring things that have, maybe they have to be put in the microwave or any of that. This year we only have one microwave, so if you bring something that needs to be microwaved, make sure it doesn't exceed 2 minutes, because we have 12 students plus myself, and we need to make sure that everybody has time to eat. I encourage you to bring things that aren't perishable, that does not need to be refrigerated. However, if it's a sandwich and you don't want your cheese to be nasty on your sandwich, then I encourage you to put like a ice pack in there or something, just to kind of keep it cold. If your child is going to bring a water bottle into the classroom, which I do encourage, then make sure that it doesn't spill. So there are some cups that have a slit in it, and it closes if you push it over like that, but if it's knocked over, it's going to spill. So we don't want anything like that, so try to just make sure the lid is secure. We're gonna have some special days throughout the week, throughout the semester, like pizza day, Chick-fil-A day. If you're going to be participating in something like that, I'll be sending home a piece of paper to make sure that you follow the suggested and required due date on that, get money in the paper so your child can get what you did pay for. On your schedule, it does tell you that we're gonna be having PE. On Mondays, I'm gonna need you to bring a pair of tennis shoes, not only because you have PE on Tuesdays, but we also need it for recess, which we'll be having every day outside, as long as the weather permits. So just make sure you have your tennis shoes with your child on Monday, and he'll take them home at the end of the week. Field trips, unfortunately, going out of the classroom, visiting places right now, due to COVID, we're not able to take. However, I will do my very best to make the learning experiences fun, activities at their desk. And I'll be trying to look into some virtual options. That way the children can see the outside world, even though they're, in the classroom. Behavior management in the classroom is gonna be a lot of fun for your children, because there's going to be little encouragement to have great behavior. However, everybody has those days where you need to have some extra reinforcement. So I will be making sure that I'm reminding them constantly, giving them warnings. However, if they exceed the 2 warning count, if they're doing the same action more than once, talking out, whatever it may be, then we have a clip chart. I put in the packet my explanation of the clip chart. It's just to kind of give them some extra opportunities to correct their behavior. If I see that they're correcting their behavior, then they get to do a clip up. They get a prize, they get an extra responsibility. It's just to encourage that good behavior. If you have any questions regarding that, just let me know. I will be including a daily behavior log in their take-home folder every day, every week. It'll tell you what color they had that day. For instance, they start on green. So if they get a green, it means that they were great all day. But if they exceeded that green and maybe they were kind, or whatever it may be, and they're just being above and beyond, they'll have a color above that. In the packet, it explains what that means. So just make sure that you look at that every day and you sign, just as you do everything else. I included a couple other things in here, just to kind of give you some explanation of what oral reading evaluation is. There's a handout explaining that. And the last thing you're gonna see in your packet is what's called like an uh-oh. I wasn't able to complete my work in class due to the following reason, just to relay some extra information to you. Like I said, this is a lot of information. You're gonna get a physical copy of this, and I am personally so excited to meet both you and your student. Feel free to reach out to me, and if there's anything that you need throughout the year, let me know. I will be praying for you, but if you have anything specific for me to pray about, let me know. I can't wait to see you on Monday. Bye.